Welcome to Storytime with Miss Alicia. This week we are celebrating, guess what? Easter. This Sunday is Easter. So today's story comes from Celebrate the Year with Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh's Easter. Winnie the Pooh felt a stirring to see the 100-acre wood. In all its new spring finery, the magic of the season was shaking off the sleep of winter, so Pooh was climbing the path that led to a very special place called Up There. In the middle of the clearing, up there, perched on its large end, sat the biggest egg Pooh had ever seen. My thought, Pooh, that egg is as tall as Christopher Robin, perhaps taller. Its size, however, wasn't the most surprising thing about the egg. It was all violet stripes and bright green swigglies, yellow polka dots, and pink swirls. Pooh laughed out loud. Pooh's very good friends heard him laugh and came to find out just what was so funny. "Oh my goodness," squealed Piglet. "That is the most very and small egg I've ever seen." Gopher squinted and surveyed the egg carefully. "That's some breakfast." "That's nothing," chuckled Tigger. "But I'll bet the look on the chicken's face was something to see. Hoo hoo hoo." "Oh, don't be silly," snapped Rabbit. "It's obvious this egg has nothing to do with chickens or breakfast." "Obvious to whom?" mumbled Eeyore. "If you don't mind me asking, you mean to tell me none of you knows what sort of egg this is?" demanded Rabbit. "Well," hooted Owl, "it's not an owl egg, I can say that with confidence, and not a small amount of relief." "It's an Easter egg," Rabbit announced triumphantly. There was silence as everyone digested this revelation. "Don't you know?" asked Rabbit. "Easter is a holiday. And this time of year, everyone gives decorated eggs to one another. I have a very good authority from my distant cousin, who is a personal acquaintance of someone who knows the Easter Bunny's grandmother." "Ah," said Pooh. "Why," muttered Eeyore, would anyone do a thing like that?" "Well," Rabbit answered, "it seems, at least from what I've been told, that these are very, very special eggs." "Very special? How, Bunny Boy?" Tigger wanted to know. "It appears," Rabbit said, "that they can talk." "Ah," Pooh said again. To be specific, Rabbit sniffed importantly. "They're supposed to say how very much we care for one another." "Humph," said Gopher. "I bet this egg says it loud." They all gathered close around the egg and listened carefully. "It's not saying anything now," said Tigger. "Perhaps it's shy," said Piglet, giving the egg a gentle pat. "I imagine that feels quite out of place." "Perhaps if we make it feel at home, it'll feel more like talking," Pooh cried. "But how does one make an egg feel at home?" asked Rabbit. Pooh smiled. "I believe I have an idea." It seemed as if no time had passed at all before Pooh was put into effect. It appeared as if the giant egg were no longer the only Easter egg up there. Pooh had painted himself a bubbly pink, a baby blue freckles. Tigger acquired a checkerboard pattern of a sort. Piglet was very red, while Owl was very sky blue. Gopher had some yellow, and Eeyore had some lavender polka dots. "It has to speak sooner or later, doesn't it?" sighed Pooh. "I mean, if it's going to say it cares and all." "Maybe we'll have to tell it how much we care first," suggested Eeyore. "How do we do that?" asked Piglet. "The only proper way to speak to an egg," Owl informed everyone, "is when you are sitting on it." "But," said Tigger, "I wouldn't want anyone sitting on me unless I was pretty sure he knew what he was doing." Everyone began rubbing their chins and scratching their heads. ferociously trying to figure out what was going on. Then Rabbit put his arm around Pooh's shoulder. "This time I have a plan, Pooh Bear." "Ah," said Pooh. The next thing Pooh knew, Tigger was standing on top of the egg, tugging on Pooh's paws while Rabbit stood beneath and pushed for all his worth. But before anyone could get Pooh seated, let alone ask the egg anything, it went away, rolling down the hill, its bright colors shifting like a pinwheel. They chased the rolling egg down the hill and up, through rushing streams and muddy spaces, across wide meadows and under bridges, and over valleys until the egg rolled down to a halt, spinning around on its side, turning more and more slowly until finally it stopped. And with its tip pointing directly at Christopher Robin. "What are you doing with my Easter egg?" he asked. "Delivering it," Pooh suggested with a smile. "Well, actually, Christopher Robin, this is your egg, all yours. So when's it going to tell us how much it cares?" Eeyore demanded. Christopher Robin said, "Watch." He grasped the huge egg and began to twist the top. The egg slowly became to unscrew. In a moment, Christopher Robin removed the top half of the egg and lifted out another egg, painted to look very much like Winnie the Pooh. One after the other, each little bit smaller than the last. "I'm going to keep mine right next beside my bedside," said Pooh. "Isn't that a strange place for an Easter egg?" asked Christopher Robin. "Oh my goodness, not at all," chuckled Pooh. "Then the last thing it tells me before I fall asleep at night, and the first thing it says when I open my eyes in the morning, will be how much somebody cares." Happy Easter, silly old bear. Well, that's the end of our story time today. Wasn't that so silly? Pooh and the friends in the 100-Acre Woods, they had no clue what an Easter egg was. Maybe you'll go searching for Easter eggs this week. Maybe you'll paint or decorate some Easter eggs. I would love to see what you guys are doing to celebrate Easter this week or to celebrate spring. Well, that's the end of story time, guys. Bye, sunshines.